the show about it's bizarre. It's the show about it's bizarre. It's so bizarre. You know, this fella bloke, it's so bizarre. I'm gonna wolf down another pheasant. Oh, this is bizarre. Bizarre. Here he goes, bizarre again. Changing colours. No, it's bizarre. Oh, no, this is a pilot. This is a pilot for my new show, Verdonis Samefeld. That's me. I'm Verdonis. I know you've never seen me before. I know you've never seen me before. I'm Verdonis. I'm the original Verdonis. Verdonis Samefeld. It's a Germanic Hebraic name. See that? That's a little bit of deception there, but it could mean that I need a tissue. I think I need a tissue. I'm crying. It's so funny. It's so funny. I'm crying. 'Cause I was crying. Yes, I'm Verdonis. My name's Verdonis. Don't know where my mother got it from. Don't ask my mother where she got it from. I don't ask my mother either. That's my name, Verdonis. It's a funny name, sort of an ugly name, the type of name you'd associate like with some sort of Frankenstein monster. You know, Verdonis. Who knows? He probably plucked it from Greek mythology. You know, that mythology stuff. I don't know whose mythology mine is, but yeah, mythology. Greek mythology. I'm just having my scappuccino from my, I don't know what the machine's name is. It's a larder or something. I think it's a larder cappuccino machine. No, it's not. It's a Jura. It's a Jura, an Italian Jura machine. I'm drinking cappuccino. My name's Verdonis. You've never seen me before. Bizarre. If I was the famous Andrew Swift, I'd say bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. The man's bizarre. The concept of this little square thing with a face in it coming through from somewhere, it's bizarre. I've got a daughter who sings with one of those mandolin things, you know, like Mozart. She does a little bit like Mozart. Somebody says she's a country singer, but I think she's Mozartian. She's a Mozartist. That's it. You're a Bizartist, whoever you are. Verdonis. Where'd you get Verdonis from? You're a Bizartist. My daughter's a Mozartist. Yes, she's a Mozartist. You're a Bizartist, wherever you're coming from. I've never seen you before. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to send you an email. I'm going to threaten you with legal action. Right. Jeez. I might as well enjoy it before I get sued, eh? America? At least I get my email about being sued. So many have before. So many. Poor free. I feel for freedom. You know, that Andrian person sending emails out here, there, and everywhere. I don't want to hear your opinion about my daughter. Bit of a bastard man, eh? That woman's a bit of a bastard man. What do you do about a woman who's a bastard man? You can't even call a woman. Imagine if on mass media I was to call a woman like Andrew Swift a bastard man. You know, she acts like a bastard man. Probably drinks in pregnancy, you know, sits there abusing other people, destroys competition, you know, treats a long-suffering hubby like a piece of shit on the face of her family life. Probably has two brain-damaged children who, instead of brain damage from this by the bastard father, is brain damaged by the bastard father doing this instead during pregnancy. Yeah, I know it's a long stretch. That's why it's bizarre. The man's bizarre. The concept's bizarre. He's got a bizarre little roof there and bizarre little bricks on his wall, and he's got a bizarre fan working, and he's a bizarreist. But my daughter, she's a Mozartist. She's a country Mozartist. Oh, yes. I'm just eating my soft cheese after I have my Lenten pheasant. My Lenten soft cheese, my Lenten pheasant, and then my Lenten Cattier champagne bath later. I'm Lenten and we're on the cusp of Lent now. This is my time. Bizarre. If the colour's changing, that's because I'm a colour-changing skink. Yes, I am. I'm a colour-changing skink. Look at me. See? Gone pale. Could be green. Well, that's life. Some people are multicoloured and they change colours. You can thank the tree that I lived on for so long. That's where I stole the idea from. I think that's enough before it gets completely bizarre. Bizarre. It's bizarre. My God, it's bizarre. Look at the man. He's bizarre. That's the Andrian point of view. I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to send an email. I'm not going to send a legal email to the caller of the bizarrest call. Yeah, I wouldn't, Andrea. I wouldn't. Andrea, you stuffed it up, Andrea. You stuffed it up, and you will not tonight because of you, Andrea. Maybe. That's a theory. It could have been because the American army was more motivated. They had food, whereas the Russians didn't have food. The Nazis were funded a lot by the American government, things like that, because they thought, maybe we can get a little bit more out of Freud if we fund the German government. And we can harass Freud and get more out of him. That was Freud's time. And then, unfortunately, Freud died in 1939, and the Germans started marching because their whole rationale for American support was all suddenly gone. So, what do the Germans do? Your rationale for funding, because there was this genius guy at that time called Charles Freud, I think his name was, Charles Freud. Charles Freud lived in Vienna. Yeah, the Americans were trying to get as much as they could out of him for nothing. So they thought they'd fund this anti-Jew, an anti-Jew called Schicklberger or something. Schicklberger, he's some reject from the First World War. They thought they'd fund him and he'd give shit to the Jews, okay, and they could get free information from this obviously knowledgeable Jew who was probably God on earth, because the Americans are Pilgrim Pride, so they can't actually admit that there might be knowledge. So they had to say he was God on earth, and the Germans, by being funded, could get the information out of this God on earth for free. He wasn't a doctor, or he was God on earth, obviously. That's how the Americans work, They like to get their information for free. They don't like to pay for it. They don't like to make people famous, especially when they're not American. And that's the story of Adolf Hitler. How he came to power, supported by the Americans. But look, the Americans were lucky, because when they had to get him back out of Europe, they got an easy run because they had food. The poor Russians, who hadn't funded Mr. Hitler in the beginning, well, they tended to get a little bit of a hard time, as in the Germans burnt all the food. okay, because the Germans burnt the food, so the Russians had to fight with no food, no houses, no nothing left as the Germans retreated. Not so in the German side from the landings in on the Channel. So that's how it panned out. Unfortunately, Mr. Freud had to die to make sure that somebody paid. He could have probably lived to 120, but he died early and left Germany to deal with America now that their rationale was no longer current. Yeah, Germany was putting the pressure on Freud. They were getting free information. That's all America's worried about, really, at essence. And then when Freud died, unfortunately early, he committed suicide. He could have survived, but he had to commit suicide. The Germans thought, well, the Americans aren't going to want us anymore, so we're going to invade Europe. And that's what happened. I'm going to push this little button right here. I push this little button. See, that's my finger coming towards the button. I'm going to push it, and it's all going to stop.